Man United podcast with Bidds and Monty. Welcome to the Man United podcast, you beautiful human beings. Today's episode was awesome. Again, deep, roller coaster, funny.
It
was good, man. Scott Shearer we had on today, former professional goalkeeper. Spoke about his struggles. We also went off topic a few times, which we always do. It's all good. Now, the YouTube winner for our giveaway is Caroline Keane. So congratulations to you. Drop a comment in this video. We'll get in touch with you and you will have your, I think it's a hoodie, you know.
Hoodie.
Ooh. Yeah, sure, it's a hoodie for this giveaway. So congratulations.
Man United hoodie.
Yes, baby. Man United hoodie. And one more thing before we go. My mate Beer Company. Get on it. Get your products in. Pody 10 on that discount code. Get your beard looking sexual. And also, we've got another one. We like the alsos in here. Champion Mindset clothing is now available. Link will be in the description. Get ordering, my people. Get ordering.
Get ordering. Everything that we do is for a great cause.
Yes.
We want to help the next person be in a better place, whether it's mentally, physically, or find yourself again. We want to help you.
Yes. Enjoy this episode. Say, it does get deep. We do talk about suicide. We do talk about mental health, as per usual. And we also talk about chimpanzees.
Woo.
Enjoy. So we got the legend himself, Scott Shearer. What's happening, man?
All good. How are you, Bidds?
Yes, mate. I'm good, man. Monty, how you doing there, man? What's happening?
Good here, touch my beard, mate. Just see if it feels smooth after that man beard oil, mate.
You got some?
I tried putting some, but I think I put it in the wrong place.
Oh, fuck. Why?
I feel that's a little.
So, Scott, your career in football as a goalkeeper, how long did it last for? Because obviously with goalkeepers, it can last a lot longer than an outfield player, can't it?
Fuck me, it was longer than it should have been anyway. Bad performances, let me tell you. But I think all in all, it was about 20 years. I had 3 years in Scotland and then 17 years down here.
Wow. Say was it Coventry, Wickham, Rotherham, and then Oxford?
Oh, fuck, there's fucking loads. No. Coventry, then Bristol Rovers, then
wow.
Bristol Rovers, then where did I go then? Then Wickham, then Wrexham, then Crawley, then Rotherham, then Crewe, then then Mansfield, then Oxford.
Oh, you've done some travelling then.
Oh, just a wee bit.
What was it like moving clubs though? Because obviously you'd have to move house quite often and ship out all the time.
Torture.
Yeah.
Torture. Yeah. Torture. Like obviously you didn't. I remember when I signed for Wrexham, went up there, signed a 2-year deal, but sold the dream. Obviously got a house, took a 2-year lease on it.
Yeah.
5 months into it, fucking Dean Saunders, like young goalkeeper at the time, Chris Maxwell, had done well for Wales 21s. Everton, Spurs want to look at him. The club need the money, so we need to play him. I'm fucking shitting me. But at least he was honest with me. Do you know what I mean? It was just like, that's just how it is. And I went, fair enough. So then the week before Christmas, Crawley wanted me, so literally had Christmas Day in my house, moved out Boxing Day.
Wow.
Yeah, shit like that. Like, fucking people don't realise it, but I've had more. I think I've had about 19 house moves.
Wow.
Woo-hoo.
Fucking crazy.
Pro. If you ever need some advice on moving house, I know where to go.
Kept the economy fucking going in house moves.
Tell you what, at the moment, the houses surely have dropped at the moment of what's happening.
No, it's went the other way, hasn't it?
Has it?
Yeah, because everyone's saving a fortune on stamp duty.
Oh shit! See,
So
because I'm like, before lockdown happened last year, we were talking to a guy about getting a mortgage, and then lockdown happened, then went dead quiet. So like, oh fuck. So
yeah,
we're now kicking back off with like kicking that back off, and it's fucking mad because there's so many different advisors out there that are in it for the fucking wrong reason.
Yeah.
I mean, I've spoke to a few, and I know my wife spoke to a few. The last guy we had was shit, basically. Like, didn't really give us a lot.
Yeah.
So with that at the moment, so we're going back through that. So with like the stress of moving, you've also got the stress of sorting out mortgages, because when you obviously move to different clubs, were you again setting up another mortgage, or was it rented?
Oh, yeah, so that was it. I'd bought a house that I thought was going to be like, you know, the house, and then times where I was able to move back into that, but then other times I would just rent, because I was just like, I don't really see myself being able to fucking stay here, and you know, it's just going to be more stressing, like you're saying, having to sell the house to buy another house, and so now I rented most of the places I was going to.
That's one of the downsides about being a footballer, isn't it? So obviously you're at a football club for X amount of years or whatever contract you've signed, and it's not permanent, is it? Like, nothing's permanent in football.
And the reason that I moved around a lot is because I was always trying to chase success.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to stay in one club and get stale and too comfortable. So I always just moved around, and don't know if it was the right thing to do, but it was what I did.
That's like the hardest part of the game as well, when like in your circumstance, when you move to Wrexham and you've been offered whatever you've got offered 2 years, you feel like, you know what, I'm going to be settled here for 2 years. So your mind is now on focusing on playing, because you've had something lifted off your shoulders in regards of stability, and then 5 months into it, things just turn, and you've got to look elsewhere. What am I doing? What's going to be best for me, my family? So I have to move again. It's what a lot of the fans don't really understand, the actual sacrifices that footballers have to do. And bearing in mind, it's a short-term career as well, because our careers can vary. Obviously, some people are lucky enough to play till the 40s, but not many get to that stage, and especially at the highest level. Like, if you're playing League One, League Two, once you stop playing football, a lot of times it's like you got to then start from the bottom again, and a lot of fans don't really understand that.
Yeah, but in saying that, that's a misconception, that I think, because obviously I've come out of the game now, and as like professional athletes, you've fucking got so much to offer, getting into any walk of life. And I spoke to loads of people going in, and I had that like misconception myself, where it was like, fucking, I'm only, you know what I mean, I'll probably just take a coaching job, and I'll set my own little school up, and I'll do this, and I was setting limits on myself. And I think that's what we do, because it's fucking daunting, and if you've not got the right help going through it, most people can't really see it themselves. So then, when I spoke to loads of people, like I spoke to business owners, and my last year, I was saying to you before, I knew in the October of my last season, I spoke to Carl Robinson. To be fair, he was brilliant. He just said, listen, appreciate it. Just come in 2 days a week, keep yourself fit in case I need you, but you need to sort of plan now for the next stage of your life. So he was really good. I couldn't have asked for any more of him. But I was going in and doing work experience at other places, and fucking these people were desperate for me to like join what they were doing.
Yeah.
Because when you've been a professional athlete, like targets and stuff like that, that's fucking nothing like in a normal working environment, because we've got the pressures every single day of having to be at the top, or you're getting fucking bombed. And then how many different sort of personalities do you deal with every day? How many different ethnicities? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're in a dressing room that's just this hub that you can't recreate in a normal working environment. So going into anything else from being a professional athlete is, I reckon most of us, if we had the right person to sort of hold our hands getting into it and making us aware of what we need to do, and little tiny steps to step away if that's what somebody wanted to do. Just the right person to hold the hand on the way out is all that's needed. And you'd believe that you can do whatever you want.
I think, do you think, obviously what you said is perfect, but do you think as well in regards of having someone to hold your hand and guide you, but do you not think as well that the individual himself has to believe?
Yeah.
I have the right mindset towards actually making a transition to something else. Then accept it.
What I'm going to say to you is, you know the things that we have is just normality. It's just a gimme. Yeah. We're work ethic. We just things that we don't even think about. That's like quite a lot for some people in another job to consistently do day in, day out. So the way that we have to be every day, you know, because our job isn't Monday to Friday 9 to 5.
Yeah.
You know, every single day that we're asked of, we need to be able to just be like that.
Yeah.
What's the highest level? The targets are the targets. Every day you get targets, you've got to hit a certain amount on your GPS and certain heart rates, and you know, all of this stuff. There's targets every single day. So I just feel that we sell ourselves short a lot.
Yeah.
And in terms of like holding hands, like a lot of employers would bite your hand off to get professional athletes into their company, because they know straight away they've got someone who is coachable and someone who has got a hard work ethic and knows what it takes to you know, like meet targets and surpass targets. So it's like I helped one of my friends set a company up to help athletes. And it's like, he said he was in recruitment, and he's like that to me. I've got employers desperate, not just for footballers, for athletes. So you're talking about, you know, rowers, rugby players, you know, long distance runners. Doesn't matter. If you're in a professional athlete mindset, you've got so much to offer an employer.
Yeah, with the employment side of football, I had a conversation the other day with one of my mates, and I know I've seen it a hell of a lot about when you're not doing so well at football, and then you get them people that say, well, if I wasn't doing well in my job, I'd get sacked. It's like, I don't think it works like that in football. Because you think about, if someone does something at work, like everyday work, football, I don't think people look at football as a job. I think that's the mindset of quite a lot of people. It's like for me, if I'm doing my job and I make a mistake, I'll correct it. I might not be able to correct it that day, but it might be the day after, or like the week after, or whatever. It's like with football, if you make a mistake on the pitch, you know, your pass goes somewhere else, or you score an own goal or whatever, it's hard to correct that because it's an instant thing.
Yeah.
And you've got thousands of people watching you. So with the opinion of someone saying, well, if I did this at work, I'd get sacked, I think that's wrong to say. I don't know about you and Monty's thoughts on that, but I've heard that quite a lot.
Well, I mean, straight away, if someone does something to get sacked at work, it's going to have to be something fucking big.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of, and that's not just like an individual error, then, is it? That's like something way beyond that. Now, you look at footballers, when we make a mistake, it's a mistake. It's an individual error, and it's like a split-second decision. Do you know what I mean? So you can't compare the two of them. And then at the end of the day, like I said, we've said this before, I don't think many, I'm not saying all fans because I know it's not, but the majority of fans, or a certain proportion of fans, don't look at the players that are at the football team as human beings.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And they're not allowed to make a mistake. They're not allowed to have a bad day. Again, how many people, fucking, I know in my instance, like, I know we'll be chatting about mental health and stuff, but fucking hell, like, you know, at certain points in my career, I was having suicidal thoughts. So it's about time that fans will always have a go, but you know what I mean, just realise that these people are fucking human beings as well, and
that's it.
And it can fucking affect them.
Yeah. So with the depression side of things, was that something that you hid for all your career?
Do you know, the more I think about it, Bidds, I think it was. I think just the way football is, it's you celebrate, you know, small wins so much.
Yeah.
And you know, a slight mistake is like death.
Yeah.
So, and the peaks and troughs are just there's too wide a gulf there.
Yeah. So, especially with like the position you played, because I've always thought goalkeeping is the most loneliest position on that football pitch, because if a goal goes in, you know, everyone's instantly blaming the goalkeeper.
Yeah, that you're spot on. And at the end of the day, it's most of the time it's your own fans that are abusing you for it. So
yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
you've got to have. Well, I'm saying you've got to have big shoulders, but there's only so much you can take on.
Yeah, I say I've got a lot of respect for goalkeepers, because even at like amateur level, they still get that same dreaded feeling. It's like I've played for a lot of like amateur football teams on Saturday and Sundays, and if the goalkeeper conceded, the head instantly drops, and it's like, got to pick this guy up.
Yeah.
But then you'll have someone else in the football team absolutely slating him and saying like how shit he is, and that's the thing he doesn't need.
Yeah,
it's madness. Even if someone's pinged a 40-yard shot, top bins, power driver, which even like a professional keeper probably won't save. Fucking shit, mate! Haven't you saved that?
Yeah.
It's madness, man. It's
madness. I ain't gonna lie, I've always said but I've only started saying this until I've realised the actual industry I was in.
Yeah.
And football are the most broad. It's the most enjoyable, but it's one of the most horrendous raw industry that you can be in. For all the reasons that you guys just spoke, obviously, in regards of what the job situation, how you get slaughtered, how you get judged, how you get abused. The other side, you can't. If you got someone working in an office or any like a factory, wherever it may be, and they're getting slaughtered, they can bite back. A footballer have got to slip it and deal with it, and you can't even express yourself, or you can't even explain the situation that they're accusing you of.
Yeah.
And the only way I started seeing differently and how I manage it myself is by doing obviously my own awareness, my own meditation, my own work within myself in regards of, when we spoke about this before in the program, the podcast, where we're only in control of our own thoughts, feelings, emotion, and results. If we tend to give too much, I would say, attention to what the fans are saying, no disrespect to the fans, because you have to acknowledge what they're saying and be aware of what they're saying. But if you give too much attention to that, all of a sudden your performances are affected.
Yeah.
Because then you become fear of making a mistake. So for me, it's more like, you know what, I've been doing this for so long. I've played since I was a kid, before I even signed my professional contract. And I try and take myself back to those times where me and my friends used to play and we used to abuse each other, but it was just a fun game. That's how I see football now. I know I'm playing professionally now, but I see myself now, you know what, and how I can help myself is, if I make a mistake, is I question it. Did I do that on purpose? No.
Yeah. You've got the ball, you've ran 40 yards to your own goal and smashed it in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not like, okay, now I've got the ball here at left back. I see the striker. Let me just pass it to him so he can go through, and let me try and chase him back. It's not like we do that. And then some fans tend to look at it differently. Oh, what's he doing? Look at that mistake. Obviously, a mistake's a mistake, but it's not a mistake when you're trying to make something happen.
Yeah. Here's one as well. When I remember going my first ever Wolves game, I was about 5 or 6, and I was sitting in the South Bank stand with with all the hooligans, should we say, and there was a goal kick, right? And all I heard, a load of people, everyone stood up, and all I heard was, "Oh," I was like, "What's happening here?" Oh, you know what's coming, don't you? As soon as he kicked the ball, I was like, "You fat bastard!" I was like, "What?" That's the aim, to put the goalkeeper up his goal kick, and I've never ever seen it work. But then I've always thought, yeah, I'd love to be a goalkeeper, because I'd be like, I'd pretend kick the ball, like go back, hey. See?
Yeah, but I'd done that before and get booked.
No way.
What I'm saying.
Yeah. So this is what I mean. Like, fans will turn around and say they want players to be, normal and human and interact and stuff. But then when you do, either fans don't like it and you get abused off other certain fans, and then you get repercussions.
Yeah.
Cheers.
So, yeah.
Monty don't like this subject, do you, bro?
No, because even like Scott just said there, like it happened to me I think 2 years ago, right? We're basically in the relegation fight, and we played against, I think it was Chesterfield, the year they went down. And we've gone down to, we went down to 10 men. We're beating them 2-1, and I'm getting abused by the fans behind our goal, right? And their player, so as one of the players going through, he skied it, but prior to that, I was getting abused. But he skied it, because I'm running so fast and I couldn't stop myself. The net basically stopped me after the guy missed the shot.
Yeah.
And their fans are right in front of me. As I'm holding the net, I've gone like that. And they lost their shit. And I'm thinking, well, you're giving me shit. I've not said nothing. All I've done is pull a face expression. I'm coming on Monday, and I'm getting questioned by like the club.
Really?
Because the complaint's been filed into the FA.
See, I'd end up doing a fucking Eric Cantona, I would.
And I'm thinking,
so you can do that.
They're abused. So I was thinking, they're abused me. All I've done, stuck my tongue at them because I was getting abused. And I'm now getting basically investigated for sticking my tongue out.
Yeah.
It was mad.
That's what I mean. It's rubbish, innit? It's rubbish. Like, at the end of the day, I keep going back to it. Just human beings. we're going to react and we're going to deal with different like situations differently.
Yeah.
So that's what the dangerous thing of social media is now. Like you as a footballer, you have a shit game, or fucking you're arguing with your missus, or something's going on in your life. And somebody says something that triggers you. Do you know what I mean? You're the one who's going to get fucked for it.
Yeah, it's all about reactions, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's like it's just crazy.
It's hard sometimes though, because when you're in that mindset of, like you say, that depressive mindset, and you know everything around you is just not working right for you, and then someone said something and it just makes you snap. It's hard to control yourself in some situations, especially the mindset I've been in the past, where someone said something to me and I've just absolutely snapped, and I can't. It's like a red mist.
Yeah.
Big red mist. It's like when I've played football and I've gone to football and I've not felt myself. I've woke up in a bit of a bad mood because like my week's been shit, and I've, like you say, I've had them thoughts of suicide. And then I'm playing football, and then someone's just kicked the back of my ankles, and I've just gone absolutely psycho. Like absolutely psycho. It's like red mist, mate. Red mist.
I can relate.
Yeah, but you get sent off. I didn't.
I'll never get sent off, boy.
It's like you talk about, obviously, people who would say in a normal job, I'd get sacked.
Yeah.
But you might not get sacked in football, but you might not fucking keep your place.
That's
you might,
it.
and then that's you. You might go a season without playing football, and that's you. Your stock's low, and you're struggling to get a deal somewhere else, and so there's all these repercussions within football that footballers are constantly thinking about. I've got to do this because I've got to play on Saturday, because some of them might need the appearance fee to survive on. So
Yeah.
I need to get the appearance fee into. I need to get this. I need to get any bonus that comes in. You know, all these things in the lower leagues. That's what happens.
So you said before that before we started recording that people don't realise how tough and hard it is for lower league players.
Yeah.
Is that the reason? Because would it be right in saying that being a lower league player, the stability isn't 100%?
Well, there you go. You put it like this. I've had contracts where I've went from earning really good money to taking like a 60% pay cut.
Yeah.
To what I've done. Now, you look at someone who's working a normal job, they'll probably have career progression, and they'll just go up and up and up. Whereas in football, it's the opposite way. If you do well as a kid, you get paid well, but it'll go up for a bit, and then you plateau, and then you're on the way down towards the last part of your career.
Yeah.
Usually that's at the stage where you've got a family, you've got, big responsibilities. So it doesn't really work out towards the end, really. And at the end of the day, when you play football because you fucking love it. Yeah. As little boys, we all fucking want to play football. But when you're in a career, you like you said, Monty, it's hard to remember that. That's why you done it, because it was your dream.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you can get back to that, then perfect. But for a lot of lower league lads, it's putting food on the table like everybody else does.
Yeah. And then you've got like the stability of the club's finances as well. It's like the Berry situation.
Macclesfield, well.
Yeah, absolutely madness. Like, and you've got their players that weren't being paid, and like I think it was Talk Sport that one of their players went on, and they actually had the chairman on as well, the owner. Yeah. I think I remember listening to that interview and like hearing just how fucking angry the football player was, because at the end of the day he's playing a game that he's loved all his life, and then it's just getting stopped.
I know.
It's like lower league players like myself, and I think Scott, obviously, when you come into the back end of your career, you would understand like towards the end, or as you get older, or even if you spend your whole career in the lower leagues, every year is like a trial.
Yeah.
Right. So even if you sign a contract, it's like you're still on trial for that year. Because nothing's guaranteed at the lower league. Obviously, the money, it is good in terms of obviously you're earning a lot more than what anyone else will earn, but it's not sort of like good in the sense of if I retire end of this year, I'm going to be in a good position where I can go and not feel the stress. I think everyone feels like just because you're a professional footballer, you're earning Premier League and Championship wage.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people think.
A lot of people think that, oh, you're a professional footballer. Yes, I play football. Oh my God, you're earning £10,000 a week or 50, £100,000 a week. I'm like, oh mate.
It's like things get leaked as well. Think like how much players are on at certain clubs to get leaked, and I know this because it's happened this week, and I've witnessed it.
With who?
What?
With who? What?
What club?
Yeah.
Port Vale.
To be fair, one of my friends showed me this yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was laughing, mate.
Fucking bullshit, man.
I was laughing.
I might make one.
I wish I hadn't might have said I was on.
Yeah, top 10 earners at Port Vale.
I wish I hadn't might have said I was on. Jesus.
Tell you what, mate. I'm going to make one tonight. I'm going to make a fake one and get it out there.
Put me on 10 grand a week, please.
A bit more than that. I think we spoke about your wages in the past when I've been managing Port Vale on my football manager game.
I want 20 grand a week, please.
Absolute nightmare you were, mate. Absolute nightmare.
Oh man.
Took charge of Port Vale in League Two. This is how far I went with you. I got you in the Champions League. Yeah. And you were still playing. And every single season when it ended, Christian Montano wants a wage rise.
Quite right.
Fuck off. Every season.
You could turn around and say he got you to the Champions League bids.
Oh. Helped him, innit? Helped him.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ungrateful.
All the way. Do you know, he retired at 36, I think it was. But I released him.
Yeah.
But do you remember how much you got when I released you?
I can't remember, because I'm still waiting for the money to come into my bank, mate.
1.75 million you got, bro.
God, I'm still waiting.
I thought, I'm going to have to release you. You're not old enough. Got some young lads piling through this game now. Got to give these lads a chance. There you go, 1.75 million.
And now that we've mentioned that about, he said himself, Scott, when we get to a certain stage in our career, and you mentioned it as well in regards of other careers, there's progression, right? But how do footballers get treated once they hit the 30 mark? And how does that affect the players mentally?
Yeah.
Or in your case, how did it work?
This fucking pisses me off, this. Because I know there's certain managers out there who they have this thing in their head, as soon as a player hits a certain age, their legs are gone. And it's happened to a couple of my mates, and they're fit as fuck.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then they won't start them for the season because they'll be like, oh, we'll play them the odd game. And then they end up need to put them back in through injuries, and they end up being the best player on the team for them. And it happens every fucking time. And it's just this horrible thing in football that once you get past a certain age, and this again, I think this comes down to, though, in football, because there's no value to you for the club. So is the club realistically a lower league club going to sell on a 32-year-old? No. They want to bring in 22-year-old, 23-year-old, you know, probably been released from a Premier League club, because in 2 years' time they might fucking earn a few $100,000 for him if he does well.
Yeah.
No, it's a part of the game that I hate. I think you need a balance in a squad. You need the balance.
Yeah, because you got the experience, haven't you?
Yeah, without that experience, these young kids are just fucked, and it could be on the downside for them for their career.
Yeah, it's like
help them.
Yeah, it's like I was shocked the other day when I found out that Wes Houlihan was playing for Cambridge. I mean, the guy's 30. He's fucking mint. And he's 38, man.
So good.
Mustard of a player.
But I bet you he's playing. Bet you he's fucking just loving it.
Yeah.
Like he's just enjoying playing football.
But that's the thing. People don't really look at the performances to an extent, and before they play, they look at the age. 38. Oh no, like you said, his legs have gone. Now you can't play, and then boom, you got a 38-year-old running the show, and
he mustard, mate.
Ability and how much freedom he was playing with. It's about, I think, treating everyone the same, showing everyone the same, believing the same opportunity, no matter how old you are. Now you've got the one from, what's his name, from Leighton Orient as well. Is it John McEnough?
Oh, Jody Mack.
Yeah. He's what? How old is he? Like 37 as well, something like that. And you couldn't tell. You would think he's younger than that.
It's like one of my mates was at Notts County as well. Just now, 30. Well, he's 40. He's flying. You know, it does just fit as anything. Doesn't matter. And as well, Monty, it's like there's no hiding now either, because there's all the scientific data and everything at most clubs, so they can't fucking hide behind it. Do you know what I mean? But again, you know what it's like. Managers will use what they want to use to promote their whatever they want. So if you're too old and your legs are past it, that's the way it fucking is. Yeah. Doesn't matter if you're the best trainer every day, you're quicker than the other fucking players, or you know, you cover more ground or whatever. In his head, it's that. So you're fucked.
Yeah. Jody McEnough is 39, Monty.
Yeah, you got 39. You've got a thing here as well, wasn't it? Kev Ellison, 41.
Yeah.
What a guy.
Wow. Do you know how old the oldest professional footballer actually is? 59. No. 74, bro.
Oh, fucking, who's this? Is this a chairman?
He's got to be somewhere in like Korea or something like
that. It's Egypt.
Egypt,
yeah.
Is it the owner or something?
No, mate, it's not. His name is...
Good luck.
Azaldin Bahad. Azaldin, 74. In Guinness Book of World Records as well. Mad. Right. He played for some Israeli club. I'm not going to try to pronounce that name. But yeah, 74, mate. And I bet you they only did it for getting the Guinness Book of World Records. Right, I know. We'll sign that 74-year-old, put him on the bench, bring him on in the last minute, boom.
Because that's what the Donny chairman done, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he done that.
No
he was
way.
Desperate in a game, and he registered as a player and came on like the last 2 minutes of a game or something.
No way.
Is he any good?
No, but to be fair, he was a, you know, he brought them into the new stadium. He was a proper Donny fan, and it was his dream.
Yeah.
So there was nothing like on the game, and I think they asked the other team and everything as well, and they were all right with it. It was just,
oh, it's all right, then, isn't it?
So there you go. If you've got enough money, you can be a footballer.
So how have you been coping with lockdown, brother? What have you been doing with your lockdown time?
So, like I said, I obviously retired from football, moved away, went into finance, and so the first lockdown was actually a bit of a blessing. It was tough, but it was a bit of a blessing because I started my course last January, and so the first 3 months of the course was like to get you through the exams that you needed to get through.
Yeah.
And the last 3 months of it was, practicality stuff, like I'm a financial advisor now, so how to be compliant and, and make sure you can run a meeting properly and X, Y, Z. So, and every day for the last 3 months, I was going to have to get into London, and I live just outside London, but there's still a bit of graft because I've got my kid, and I had planned that I was going to have to fly my mum down every week because obviously I've got no family around me here. So she was going to have to be down here during the week so that my little one would get to school and stuff, because I had to get the train in at like 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
But then obviously lockdown happened and everything went remotely. And so I was able to do it all via a laptop and Zoom and stuff like this, which wasn't the best experience of it, but you just got to make the best out of it, haven't you? So that was the first lockdown, and then I got qualified, and I've been working now since August last year. So, and it's been good. It's been, adapting to a new lifestyle, and I've went from 20 years in football where, you just do what you're told, really. You're in at 10 tomorrow, so you're in. That's you know what time you're in at, and then everything's set out for you. Whereas now, I'm sort of in charge of my own diary.
How's that been for you? Has it been quite refreshing?
Yeah, no, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's been tough times with it.
Yeah.
Tough, like the first 6 months I came out of football, I wanted a break, just because I knew I was going into this. But Jesus Christ, after like 3 weeks, didn't know what to do. I had to be doing something. So it was, it's different, but I'm really enjoying it now. And like we spoke about before, Monty, like I'm glad that I've done it. I'm glad that I didn't just, cave into something that I didn't really want to do.
Yeah.
So long may it continue.
You see, when you were still playing and you was looking and planning it after your retirement, were people sort of trying to push into the coaching life?
Yeah. Well, the majority of people do, don't they? The first thing, if you've got to speak to somebody at a football club, the first thing they're going to say to you is, have you got your badges? Go and get your badges, blah. Most people who have been a player, were into a coaching role, that's the life they wanted to live. But I don't think the PFA do anywhere near enough to help the lads. I don't think they do anywhere near enough. In terms of that, they say, oh, you get this course, that course, but if you don't fit into what they've got, do you know what I mean? It's a bit like, well, what the fuck am I meant to do?
Yeah. The reason
they don't get back to you when you phone them, and it's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, that's not. The reason I asked is because obviously about a year and a half ago, someone was coming to the club in regards of courses and what you want to do, and I basically rang them up in regards of obviously my experiences, my life story, and how I wanted to use my story. And spoke to this individual, and the first thing he said to me was, which was sad to an extent, but I've been through a lot in my life too, and a lot worse things have been said to me. But it sort of made me question it. The thing he said to me was, your story, great, sad, but you do know Sadio Mane, someone like that, has got an interesting story as well, and they're playing the Premier League.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, okay, and what does that mean? That my story or my pain is it's not painful from what I went from, what I've survived. It's not good enough to actually go and inspire someone else because I'm not playing the Premier League. What we're invited to do is, why don't you try and look at some coaching courses? I put the phone down. I said, like, my passion is speaking, for example, and I would say apart from football, speaking, helping others, passing, like, sort of like trying to inspire the younger generation to understand the real life of football and how things work. And it's all a fairy tale and how you get treated, basically. I just pass down the knowledge and about mental health and things like that. Now, when you look at coaching badges and things, I said, no, it's not in my nature. You get me? I don't want to be a coach. Like, at the moment, that's not what I'm set out to be. So ever since then, I just obviously doing what I do with Bidds, what I spoke to you about the brand. They kind of do things that I enjoy doing when I'm still playing football. And I think with what you said in regard to the PFA, yeah, they do offer some type of help. But then if what you want to do is not on the website, what they're offering, how can then someone be encouraged or inspired to do something else? Because a lot of people feel stuck. That's when the pressure starts kicking in.
And this is what I said to you before. This is where I think it's really important. So you're spot on. Right now, you're finding other paths whilst you're still playing football. A lot of people leave it a little bit too late, and then the anxiety proper kicks in. But this is where, so the company that I help, like my mate, he set it up, and they're now running with it, and I've sort of stepped back a bit from it. But it was based around my story, obviously in football as well, that there wasn't really any help when you're retired. I remember telling him, when you finish at a club, you're lucky to get 2 sentences on a website, and that's it. You're done. Like, nobody cares that you've got no income coming in.
Yeah.
It's like, thank you very much, see you later. And it was him that was telling me about, obviously, employers would love the type of person that an athlete is if they wanted to go into a different industry. And it's called, I'm going to big it up here, but it's called Future Proof Pro. And they've now been getting ex-athletes into new careers away from sport. It's just what I was getting on to the point there is, if you've got the right person, so like you say, you spoke to that person in the PFA, they say that to you, it's like a negative experience. But if you speak to someone who, you know, holds you, I use an analogy, holding your hand, because I think that's what we need, is like when we're transitioning out of something, it's just a little hand holding, like guide you, not do things for you, but guide you and tell you what you need to do. And if you get that, as an athlete, I think you're quite powerful. You're a powerful person, get into anything that you want to do.
Yeah.
But I'm with you on the PFA. Yeah, great organisation and everything, but they big themselves up for doing fuck all for, well, I say fuck all, but there is things there, but not a lot for lower league footballers.
Yeah, I think, like I said, like, there is some help, there is some things that people could take advantage of, but then like myself or even other players that have got other things in mind, things that they want to do that they don't offer it, or how can they help them better? A lot of the times it's just go on the website, look what you want to do, and then message us. There's no sort of like guidance, especially when we've been in the game for so long, and a lot of things need doing for footballers.
Yeah.
Guiding, getting them ready for life after football, but with proper guidance. Yeah.
Well, look at this. Like, I went out here, and so I went into the thing that I done was called St James's Place Academy. It was a second career academy. So there's people like in the 40s and in the 50s that do it, just want a different career. And so, being a bit naive, I was like, should get in, because, you know, I've got a decent client base to potentially get into from what I've done for the past 20 years. So I went in for an interview. It was more like a chat. And then he's went like that to me. Okay, so if you can just send us your CV by the end of today. And I went, I'm just going to be honest, I've not got a fucking CV. Like, things like this. So then, and the lad who you know, he was one of the ones that helped me with a CV and like. So even things like that, like if players, say a player wants to go into a sales role after football, you know, there's certain ways to write a CV to look better for certain employers, and that's what these boys do now. They want to turn it future proof, and I just think small things like that, like, can help you with interview processes. I went into my final interview for this. I didn't have a fucking clue what was going on. Did not have the last time I had an interview was before I worked at KFC when I was 18. Like, and I'm getting there and this guy's fucking tearing me a new arsehole.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? I walked out and I went, I am never getting that. Never. Like, no chance of my doing that. But then I look at it and I speak, the more I speak to lads, nobody's ready to go for an interview when you come out of football.
Yeah.
So just even things like that, I think the PFA should be helping with things like that.
Yeah, so I've got these guys
Like,
up. It's futureproofpro.net.
Yeah.
So if anyone interested in that, head over.
If anyone's in that position where they don't know if they want to stay in football or they just want some advice about what's potentially out there,
Yeah.
definitely.
So it's not just footballers, it's any sport, any professional sport.
Yeah, any professional athlete that wants to look into it. I know they've helped a lot of people.
Yeah.
Especially now that, you know, it was set up last year, probably at the wrong time because nobody was employing, but along that time, still able to give good advice to people and things that they should do. And like I said, with athletes, you just guide them and they'll do it, you know, because they've got that work ethic and that mentality of getting shit done.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm big on, like you say, Monty, you're one of the few that's probably planning quite early, because potentially you could have, you know, a good 5 years at least left in football.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
There's always a reason behind that, what I do. Obviously, I'm lucky to an extent to have gone through what I went through when I was so young. So obviously being sacked in 2013, being homeless, struggling, no money, no income. So I experienced the struggle from having football, earning well, to being sacked, losing everything. So it felt like I'm retired and I had no savings and I've had no plan with my life. That's what it felt like. Because I thought football it lost a lifetime, and the money that I was earning was never going to run out, and the money that I was getting I was always going to get it every month. So for me, it was such a blessing that, obviously, not saying that being sacked was a good thing, but it's a life lesson. It's something that the highest God or whoever was around me was going to teach me something.
Yeah.
And I was able to struggle, became suicidal, depressed, but then I came out the other side being a better person and a better me, and I found myself again. So that's why I'm enjoying football the way I'm enjoying it now.
Yeah.
And also that's why I know, which is what I said to you before we started recording this, when people ask me, what do you do? I never say I'm a footballer. Because you could go like that overnight, and then who am I?
Yeah.
And that's what happened to me back in 2013. So I have to plan. I have to start doing and looking at what I enjoy, what actually motivates me while I'm still enjoying football. And what I've realized, once I've been planning, doing what I'm doing away from football, I'm actually enjoying my football more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More freedom.
Because there's more to life. Whereas when you're in that place where, you know, football's everything to you and it's the only thing, when it ain't going well, imagine what's going to happen to your life. Your life's not going to be fucking too rosy.
Yeah.
So when you finally opened up about your mental health, how did you feel after that? Because I know when I finally opened up about my suicide attempts and how I struggled, it was like I was a new man. So
yeah, it took a while for me, to be honest. Like the first time, I remember I tried to open up a couple of times to people around me at football clubs at the time.
Yeah.
And like you could sort of see them being a bit like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not saying anything bad about them. Like obviously I don't know what they were going through at the time. Things like that you just don't know. So they just weren't able to sort of take it in. But then I remember I went to speak to a doctor, and I lived in the Midlands at the time, next to Coventry. So I went to speak to the doctor. I was at Crewe, and so I went in. It took me ages to fucking just finally do this. Went in to speak to the doctor. I'm like, right, I'm feeling this way, blah, blah, blah. Speaking to him, he's like, all right, what is it you do? And I said, I play football. He said, oh, who for? I said, Crewe Alexandra. And he went, oh, that's where I'm from. And in my head, I just went, fuck, he's going to go and tell everybody around Crewe Alexandra that I'm depressed. And
Yeah.
so it shut me down again. And I just said, I can't do this. Just get out.
Yeah.
Like, ran out the room. So I remember at the time I went home and I pretended everything went well and blah, blah, and nothing had changed. So then for a few more years, it continued. And then, yeah, and you pretend to yourself at times because you have like little good spells and you're like, oh, I've got over this. And then it just creeps back in, doesn't it? And it was just for years. And then the time that it really switched for me is, I remember that my youngest was about 2 and my oldest was about 6. I wasn't a nice person to be around, to be honest. And the youngest wouldn't stop crying through the night. And I fucking lost it. Like, lost it. And I remember seeing my 2 kids, like, looking at me with fear. A bit of fear in their eyes. And I was like, fuck. What the fuck's going on here? And obviously I'd had all these thoughts of suicide and stuff because I was driving a lot on my own. But that one moment is the one that just went, something needs to change here.
Yeah.
And then I got in touch with the PFA at the time. Spoke to a counsellor through the PFA, but I'll be honest, it was a waste of time. It was a waste of time. I think, I don't know, maybe I'm like generalising everyone, but I think with the mindset that we have, someone just sitting there going like that to you, and how does that make you feel? And how it's quite condescending, and it pissed me off even more.
Yeah.
And I was sort of like that to a guy, can you not fucking tell me what's wrong here? Like, make me fucking understand this. And he's going, all right, so you seem really angry, so why do you think you're feeling that way? And I was, to be fair, I'd done 12 sessions with him, and I thought, I'm fucking nowhere near anywhere better here. And I know you've done a podcast with Rob. And I knew Rob from my time we were at Wickham together. He was like part of the staff.
Yeah.
And I had been following him. He was doing this thing called the Truthful Trainer because he was a PT before. And he was basically just calling people out saying, you're not losing weight because you're a fat fucker. And you don't want to lose weight. And I was like, I just really enjoy it. I love people being brutally honest with me. That's what I love. And then I remember I've watched him for months on his social media. I just kept watching it. And I don't know why, I just thought, he's the one that I'm going to open up to.
Yeah.
And I phoned him and I was like chatting away. And he went, how are you, mate? And instead of going, I'm all right, mate, things are good.
Yeah.
I went, I'm fucking on Mars, mate, if I'm honest with you. And that was it. And then he challenged me with it. Instead of like that sympathetic approach. Yeah. He went a bit hard with it. He went, nah, you're not just depressed. Like, let's talk. Why are you fucking depressed? It's not just, you can't just say I'm depressed. There's reasons behind it all. And we dug into it, and like, he gave me homework to do. He challenged me, and that was it. I started understanding it then, and I was like, fuck, something sort of like something turned.
Yeah.
And I started thinking, I'm looking forward to fucking breaking this a bit, like breaking this down now. And then that was it. And it took a while still from then. But yeah, like you say, once you start feeling yourself slowly but surely, you start feeling like quite normal again. Instead of ignoring my best mate's phone calls for 2 months in a row, I would pick the phone up. I'd be happy to go and meet somebody for a coffee or a beer or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, this is the way I want to live now.
Yeah, it's just that first initial step into it. Like I think we say it every episode probably. It's just that first initial step, which everyone finds hard to take. But once you've done it,
it's just strong. It's the most powerful thing you will do.
Yeah.
And I don't think people realise the strength it takes to do it. Because fuck me, it's difficult, as we know.
Yeah. But it's like I think I said on the last episode or episode before, I drove past my therapist office like 3 or 4 times. I was booked in and then just drove straight past both times. Like, fuck that, can't do it today. And then it took me the suicide attempt to be like, I fucking need to sort this out right now, or else my kids aren't going to have a dad. And then the day after, I had a session booked and I was at work. I was absolutely shitting myself, but I just got over that fear barrier.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's either this or I die, and that's how simple it is. And I went, and that was it. And yeah, the first session, I was sitting there, and I was shitting myself. I was dead nervous. But then the session after that got easier, and then it got easier each session I went. It wasn't like, why are you feeling like this? Why do you think you're feeling like this? It was just a general chat like this. And I said to the woman, I was like, well, I've been to the doctors, and she was like, well, what have they said? I was like, well, they tried marking me out of fucking 10, basically. It's like, well, how would you feel on your dark days out of 10? Well, fucking 10, mate. Tried to fucking kill myself. You know what I mean? It's not rocket science, is it? So
I just wanted to beat her up, boy.
No, me doctor's a man.
Oh, well, beat him up.
I want to say doctor is actually a practitioner. So I never went to the doctors after that one time I went, because my family was like, you need to go to doctors. And after I went, I was like, fucking don't need a doctor. Give me a leaflet and said, read that. So I didn't. It's like, it's fucking full of bullshit, just on about medication. I was like, I can't touch your medication. You're not making me a fucking zombie, brother. It's not happening. And then, obviously, with the therapy, started working wonders and wonders. And I think my family and my wife started seeing like different things about me. It's like doing this podcast. There's fucking no way I would have sat here now. No way. So from what it does for just talking, it's like, it just, like I said, it changed me. Absolutely changed me.
It's crazy. I remember I remember Rob saying to me, like, you should do something and speak about this. And even then, I was feeling a lot better. But even then, I was going, fuck.
Yeah.
People are just going to think, like, I'm this fucking footballer coming to the end of his career, just jumping on a bandwagon, and, you know, all those thoughts were going through. That's just... And then we done it. And my fucking phone went mental.
Yeah.
And not just... And obviously that's not... I say it went mental. It's a good and it's a bad thing, because a good majority of that were people from when I grew up in Glasgow to people I played football with, reaching out and saying, it's fucking, I'm struggling as well. And so it was a good thing in a way that people felt they could reach out to me and let me know how they were feeling.
Yeah.
And then I could try and help them as much as I could. But it was a bad way that made me think, this is a lot bigger than what any of us can fucking think.
Yeah.
Like, so many people are just sitting there struggling.
Yeah,
And it's like the majority of them have got kids.
Yeah.
And some of them have actually tried to take their life.
Yeah. Well, it's like when I was struggling, and it's that mindset I was in. I was just fucked, basically. Fucked. And I think my therapist asked me, she was like, well, did you ever think about your kids? Like, when I was in that mindset, did you ever think about your kids? And I was like, no. And so I was like, well, what were you thinking of? I was like, well, all my issues that are going on in my head would be gone. And she'd be like, well, how would that affect your family? How would that affect your kids? And it's, if you start putting that into perspective, a kid growing up without a parent because they died from suicide, it fucking breaks me, man, because within the Men United group, we've lost a lot. We've lost a lot of men in the past year. I think it's 6 or 7 men that have died from suicide, not committed. And you look at the profiles, because they're still there. They're still on the Facebook page, and you look at the profiles and the profile pictures or the cover photo, and they're with the kids, and you think, fuck. And if people don't understand how important speaking is, the consequences are massive. I think we spoke about it quite a few times, just how big they are. Yeah,
I know, and it's fucking horrible to even just sit and think about it. That that many men have fucking died from suicide last year. Fucking horrible.
It's horrible, man. I think with what you said about Robin, Rob's the man. Rob's the man. I've had a talk with him as well. But in regards of obviously what we just discussed today, I don't know, man. Today made me feel a bit emotional, and I'm just listening. I'm just like, whoa. I'm just thinking back and the reasons behind things happen and whatnot. And then I'll go back to what I've said before and what we've said before. Majority of the time, obviously, is that fear.
Yeah.
Being judged. The illusions that we create ourselves in our heads, that we forget about, like our kids. Like I did when I was going to do what I was going to do. I had my first child, obviously, he's now 8 years old, and I didn't even think about him.
Yeah.
Problems and about it tomorrow, about a month. I ain't got this, and no, I can't deal with that. I can't deal with this when things haven't even happened.
Yeah.
And the majority of the time, all it takes is for us to just accept what the moment that we're going through and find the courage, one way or another, to just speak without worrying about the judgment of the individuals that we're going to share our stories to or with, or whoever we're going to actually discuss our problems with.
Yeah.
And if they've got nothing to say, at least within yourself, you can feel proud that you've done something you've never felt like you could do.
And a big thing for me is if this helps one person, it's fucking worth it.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we said about the podcast, and as long as one person's listening to it that recognizes they've got issues or problems, and it raises awareness with them, and that's all that matters. And we have had a lot of messages. I've sent you the message, Monty, and it's just like people saying that they've listened to the podcast and it's saved their life, and it's like, well, my mission here is done.
Yeah. Well, tell me what's better than that.
Nothing,
mate. Money can't buy shit like that.
Money can't buy nothing, man.
Nah.
Money is the core. Obviously, I've always said that money is needed for the minimal things in life. apart from that, money can't buy you nothing that's gonna make you happy
No.
and keep you and make you feel alive.
Yeah.
That's my honest opinion.
Yeah.
And money is one of the biggest causes of, I'll say, majority of people's mental health or emotional health, mind health.
That's it, mate.
They overthink on the circumstances that they're in at that moment in time, and a lot of the times revolves around money. Bills. Oh, I would love to have that. I would love to buy this, but I can't get this from my little girl. I can't buy this from my little guy. And all the time you become putting pressure on yourself rather than focusing on, you know what, my daughter, my son, my missus, my wife, my mom, we're healthy. We've got food under the roof. And we've got a roof. That's the most important thing. But a lot of time we just think too far ahead.
Yeah, we do.
We get caught up in a different vibe that we if it's not for us, it's not for us. It is meant to be, will be. It's about having the patience and just enjoying the moment, enjoying the now.
That's why, like, I've mentioned what I'm doing now, but that's a big part of why I want to do this. Obviously, all my clients ain't going to be footballers, but you know, most people's anxieties come from money.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, and especially in football. Like, I know I've been there myself where I've fucking stretched myself way too far, being a twat.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any, like, I used one financial advisor when I was younger, when I first moved to Coventry, and, you know, he stitched me up, and it sort of put a bad taste in my mouth with it all. So I didn't use it ever again. And I've seen the lads who are around about my age, and they have used one. And, you know, financially, they've done fucking a lot better because they've fucking done it cleverly, and they've used a fucking professional to help them. Much like you would use, if you're fucking needing something, you'd go to a solicitor or anything legal, you'd use a professional. You wouldn't do it yourself. So my thing is if I can get into especially the younger lads, and be the one that, you know, helps them plan the financial journey, and then, you know, by the time they get to 30, 35, there'll be a pot of money sitting there.
Yeah.
The transition, if they need to go into a coaching job and take a lot less money, there'll be something there to help them. But you know what I mean? Along the way, they'll make a lot more smarter financial decisions rather than fucking getting stupid cars and buying stupid trainers all the time that they can't afford. So that's my thing about it, is with the lads that I'm helping in football just now, is making sure that what they're doing is going to help them, not just now, but 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the line. And, you know, that anxiety pill doesn't need to fucking drop for them.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Because they've got a fucking plan in place.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So,
But Monty,
Hello.
I feel like we've had a right deep conversation there.
No, today's one worse. It hit home, man. Like, today's conversation was like deep, and I felt dead emotional towards the end, to be fair. I ain't gonna lie.
I could tell in your voice.
I'm not gonna lie, mate.
I could tell in your voice, make you cry if you want.
I'll cry after.
It's fine, mate. It's fine. It's fine. But no, it's like with the podcast. Obviously, we're on YouTube. We're on all the other audio platforms. We're not scripted, man.
No.
It's like no, we can't script shit, because you don't script life. It's like I don't wake up in the morning, look at a script and say, right, okay then, so this is what's going to happen today. Nah, bullshit, man. No script involved.
We don't come with a manual how to live life, do we?
No.
I don't think I don't think I do. Like, you learn as you go along. Obviously, you learn by making mistakes, but not making mistakes. I don't sound like calling mistakes. It's lessons.
Yeah.
And it's how you word things, and the way you word things, how you feel. So, like, if you immediately say mistakes all the time, you're gonna feel down. Oh my god, I fucked up. Fuck's sake. More, what can I learn from this?
mate, Monty, you're spot on there. I think massively the biggest thing that I've taken away from, especially working with Rob as well, is our internal language. is everything, man. This slightest change of a word can change how you feel.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's, instead of saying things like, because I used to always fucking like say things like, "Oh, you stupid fat bastard" and stuff. And then, but me and Rob would then speak about that, and he'd be like, "Well, you just saying that small little thing, that's all that." And long story, that goes back to my childhood when I was a fat little fucker, and I used to get called fatty. So that was like my sort of defense thing that I would do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it wasn't good internal language, like to have with myself. So just changing, and it's a big thing when lads, I still get, you know, quite a lot of lads phoning me now. And the first thing that I do when I just let them talk is I just hear the stories that they're putting in their head.
Yeah.
And there's no wonder why they're feeling the way they're feeling. And if we don't, I think if you can control that, then you can, it's a great platform to fucking getting healthier.
Yeah. It's all about talking, man. All about talking.
It's not even just
with somebody else or even just with yourself. Like me.
Yeah.
Hear yourself talk, but watch how you speak to yourself about yourself. And I think that's something I've taken from what I've been doing recently. I've had my own sort of coach for the past 2 years. I even speak to Rob quite a bit as well. And it all comes down to the language that you use, especially towards yourself.
Yeah.
Because we actually, as humans, we tell ourselves so many lies, man, and we believe them. That makes us feel so low. And then we're questioning other people as if they made us feel that way. No, we've made ourselves feel that way, but then we're using that individual as an excuse to actually accept what we're saying.
Yeah.
It's mad, man.
That's it.
I think I've got something for you, right? Which might lighten the mood up. It might not. It depends. Okay.
It's not a porn site, is it?
No, mate. No. It's not porn. But that was listening.
Were you gonna go into your spam into your spam messages on Instagram again?
No, mate. I've got no spam. Got no dirty spam today. Sorry.
Fuck you now.
No, I was listening to a podcast last night. And they're on about chimpanzees. Yeah. And this guy, he had a chimp. What Monty, you're laughing already, mate. You won't be laughing in a minute, bro.
You've gone with lighting up the room now, yeah? And
Yeah,
you're talking about chimpanzees.
Well, it's so he had a chimpanzee, yeah, but he had to get rid of it and put it in an enclosure because he couldn't have it when it grew up as an adult. Because it's like fucking having a man in your house, but 5 times fucking stronger than you. Okay, so on his birthday, he went to this enclosure with birthday cake and give it his chimpanzee. There's other chimpanzees like caged up around. But anyway, chimpanzees get fucking really jealous. And these other chimpanzees found a way of getting out of the cage. Yeah. They bit all his fingers off, ripped his eyes out, bit his dick off. Yeah. And I've found out they go for the things that humans need. So obviously we need his fingers to pick up shit. Obviously his face, his eyes, we need that obviously to see. Obviously his dick we need to have sex with. Yeah. How mad's that? How fucking mad's that?
That's mad.
That's meant to lighten the room.
I love it, mate.
Just
Love it, man.
That's what I'm saying. See that bit, yeah? He comes out with some mad stories. But you know.
And that's real. That is real. That's
an actual real story.
Yeah, and you can see the pictures of the guy in hospital. Wow. I'm not going to put them on the YouTube channel because that's just too fucked up. But if you search it, you'll find it.
Oh my God.
Mad shit, mate. Mad shit. So I thought that'd be a great ending. That would. Yeah. Let's talk about a guy who had his fingers bit off, eyes ripped out, and dick chopped off. Well, bit off.
Chomped off.
Chomps off. Yeah.
Chomp.
Next time we go in the shop and see them 15p chomps. We've got it, mate.
Oh my goodness.
So I listen and watch some mad shit like I've told you before. It's not a bad thing, mate. It's a good conversation.
You do.
Let's talk about the guy that had his dick chomped off by some chimpanzees.
You are mad.
You think how mad my dinner breaks are at work?
Oh yeah, I can't imagine. If I'm listening to something like that, mate, and I hear anything about fingers chopping, I'd turn it off, me.
Well, I hope no one's turned the podcast off after listening to that.
Oh no. This is not a story. not this, but I'm saying like in general, like not like when you listen to something, watching a program or like even like a film.
Yeah.
And I see something coming on that's scary as well. It's just like, I've got to close my eyes or turn the TV off.
No, I love the surprise bit, you know.
A lot of surprises, but not
you do not know what's going to come out my mouth next.
Got some surprises.
You didn't expect that, did you?
No.
I enjoyed it though.
Exactly, mate. That's it now. I bet you when this podcast's done, you'll be searching that. Because you won't see that guy in hospital.
I'll go and get a fucking puppy instead of a chimp now.
Yeah. But you think about it, mate. I wouldn't like fucking be locked up. You know what I mean? I wouldn't like be locked up in a cage.
I've been for fucking year.
No, that's it. Yeah. If I see someone that's not giving me cake, you know what's happening.
His dick's getting chomped off.
Oh yeah.
Right. Let's stop talking about what is being chomped off, please.
Yes, Scott, it's been meant having you on, bro. Honestly, it's been great. We've had
Appreciate it, guys.
We've had a good roller coaster of deep conversations to talking about chomping dicks and stuff.
No, Scott, it's been amazing having you on, and you share your experiences, your knowledge as well, and a good insight into what happens in football in your career and how you managed to obviously turn your passion from football into something else that you're enjoying now. And I'm sure hopefully if a lot of, not just footballers, a lot of people listen to this podcast and take something from it in regards of you can always change your career and actually end up enjoying it if you you're all into it, willing to learn.
Yes. Yeah. And if you are a professional athlete and you know you're coming to the end of your careers, you've got futureproofpro.net.
I'll be on that website soon.
Yes, Monty. Get on there, bro.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it, guys. Appreciate everything that you're doing as well for getting us out there. It's class.
Yeah, so take it easy. Have a great day, bro. And again, appreciate your time.
I'll speak to you soon.
Stand by.